Sorry, Mr. Speaker, on the question of Mheshimiwa Naisula, on matters speculation, that must be addressed. And nice Kenya an opportunity.
You largely touched on it.
Yes, but I want to talk about one important thing, and I see a great opportunity. I think Mheshimiwa Waigara, you asked on Murigara. Sorry. Murigara. George, Sir George, on your question on training for mining, how do we achieve, for example, how do we attain 10% contribution GDP? We must do what other countries did, train our people. There's also an opportunity. If you went to some countries, you will see a mining bank, a bank that focuses only on mining. Yes. So for us to achieve all that, real work must be done. And I want to assure you, it begins with capacity building. We must train the people. So, Mr. Speaker, on Junet, it's again opulence and show off banner. I don't need to show off. What you have, you have. What you don't, you don't. And you should be cautious of others. You should be cautious of others.
We should end there. Showing off actually is a sign of inferiority complex.
But I wanted to end with the one comment on Junior. I heard him yesterday say something. I heard him say that being rich is not a crime. And also I heard him say, I don't know whether Kimani Ichung'wah shared his audited account. I heard him say Kimani Ichung'wah is worth 5 billion shillings. So, brother...
Kimani contested that he had understated
that's what I heard yesterday.
Yes.
I saw it on TV somewhere. So I end here, Mr. Speaker. So I had a formal, like a point plan, Mr. Speaker.
But Speaker, you must tell the nominee, just like him, I don't show off.
In fact, nobody can tell that you are worth anything.
Mr. Speaker, and that must be the culture in Kikuyu constituency.
Nominee, we are coming to an end. Naisula has asked me to remind you to respond to the issue of your public statement never to talk to your appointing authority. Although I told you that only fools don't change their mind, but Naisula would want the public to hear from you.
Sasa, Naisula, do you want to repeat the statement for me? Atuwezi ongea? How?
Let me say this.
I understand.
No, but let me say this for clarity, Chairman. You know, apart from asking questions during vetting for competence, what you understand about mining and all, we also vet the temperament of a nominee, the same way you've been asked about lifestyle. It's neither here or there, really. But even temperament of a nominee is very important because it shows your leadership skills. Initially you thought this, and now you're here. There's really nothing wrong with answering how you're going to relate with His Excellency the President when you're working.
Excellent.
So, Mr. Speaker, if I may quote, the statement went like, mimi nionge na Ruto nini? Mimi niende wapi na Ruto? Mr. Speaker, hakuna mtu ameeleza vizuri kukuliko. Mpumbavu pekee yake ndo abadilishi mawazo. Mtu mpumbavu. Pili, hii ni clarion call to serve the country. I have been a great critic of this government, like others I did before. Now I've been given an opportunity. An opportunity has been availed to me to come and create that difference that I've been talking about all this time. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Bring new energy, new ideology, new thinking, because after all of us are serving one nation, one people.
Well put.
That will do. Other members, now nominee, we are coming to an end. Most of the people, members of the public sending in questions, all oscillate around what will you do to create safety in the mines, What will you do to protect the population from disused mines? What will you do to protect our fishermen from harassment by neighbors? What will you do to make it safe for our fishermen to handle their produce or their products when they come back? And what will you do to make mining part of the central core of Kenya's economy? These are all things we have talked about, but the public would want to hear that we brought to you what they wanted. There is one man from Kwale who says, uliza waziri mteule, ngoja kidogo, ataweka mikakati gani kuhakikisha kituo cha mafunzo cha uchumi zamawati kilichoko wadi ya Ngomeni, kaunti ya Kwale, kinakamilika kwa muda unaofaa. I think the next, I'll still ask you or say one or two things. We want you to assure Kenyans, nominee, if you find favor and you are appointed the minister, within what period will you be able to make Kenyans feel the benefits and the contribution of mining to our economy? We are a major agricultural country. So is a country like the US. But in the US, agriculture contributes only 1% to their GDP. In Kenya, it is the complete opposite. And they do that because they are in manufacturing, in mining, value addition, and all those good economic activities. Secondly, ensure that Kenyans participate in this exciting new economic venture. Assure Kenyans that you are not going to be, if approved, to be working for international conglomerates to come to Kenya, appear to be generating economic activities but taking away all our wealth. We want to see mining being part of the central feature of our economy. Thirdly and lastly, for the seafarers and those who are now going to work on international ships, you may consider, because most of those seafarers will work in ships of major shipping and maritime countries: Korea, China, Spain, and others. You may consider, and Germany you talked earlier, to introduce basic language courses at our college in Mombasa in these languages, so that when they graduate, they have a basic knowledge of German, of Korean, or Chinese, or Mandarin, or whatever. Thirdly and lastly, you may also consider sometimes if a seafarer goes to a Spanish shipping line and produces a certificate that's a collaboration between our college and some college in Spain, it gives confidence to those who are employing. So you may consider partnering our institution with as many other institutions worldwide as possible to ease the process of our youths getting certificates and being considered for employment. Finish those, then I come to...
Can I say one from a Kenyan speaker?
Oh, there is... okay,
one
yes.
From Kenyan.
Yes.
From West Pokot.
West Pokot.
Yes, he's saying, don't forget to tell Joho, this is a guy of late 30s, he's working and he's in school. He just finished Form 4 the other day and got a D+. So he's saying, don't forget to tell Joho your motivation to many of us, like me in West Pokot, to pursue my education studies.
Yes, before you answer, there is also somebody who said, I am really shocked that Governor Joho has 2 degrees. Kenyans know he has never been to school. This is some lady from somewhere. Now go on and answer.
Mr. Speaker, the only thing she didn't write is that I'm an alumni of Harvard University. And I'm grateful that we could inspire someone. And this is a message I want to tell the young people of this country. Please never lose hope. Never give up. There is always a way out. It requires determination, focus, commitment.
Answer those now.
And a little bit of support. I'm just saying that because I felt encouraged that someone may take a path of changing his life. Mr. Speaker, I began by saying we need to relook at the architecture of our training programs. Do they conform to the needs? How do we tap in? How is it that we, first of all, are only tapping into just under 0.2% of the demand? So we would probably redesign the entire training program. And then, Mr. Speaker, I couldn't agree more. The urgent need of collaboration between teaching institutions. We will begin by pursuing partnership between the local universities and the government institutions, and also will encourage that we have an international conversation of getting more affiliate universities to join in. Mr. Speaker, the young brother from Kwale said that there's an institution that is to be completed at Wa Ward in Kwale. I have been to Wa in Ngomeni I know Ngomeni well. I've been there, and I want to assure him that I will go. For me, I will visit them, and I'll make sure that the projects that have begun come to a conclusion. And then, Mr. Speaker, we talked about what else? Kenyans participating in mining. Mr. Speaker, let me just say this. In Mombasa, when there was a debate on concessions, for example, I heard Kenyans saying one thing. If government wants to raise money, tell us. We can come together, 5 of us, 10 of us, and create good equity, good capital, in billions. There is that capacity. We know people that are having billions of shillings in banks. What may be the problem? Maybe they don't have the information of what the country holds. Maybe they've never understood the potential. So it will be my responsibility to pass knowledge to Kenyan people of what we have and where the opportunities may be. Some mining operations is not very expensive, Mr. Speaker. It's not excavator, 1 or 2, 3, 4 trucks. Kenyans can do that. And I will encourage them. But I think the disconnect here is they do not know. It is all speculative. Everybody is just speculating. We have lithium here, we have copper there, we have gold here, we have coal here. So we will ensure that we pass on the information so that Kenyan people can participate. Finally, Mr. Speaker, you talked about our economy being driven by agriculture. Let me assure you, if approved, the journey we will embark on immediately is to turn that around so that agriculture grows, mining either catches up or surpasses even agriculture. It is there in other countries. So you can't depend on one sector we have depended really on agriculture for far too long. It's time we diversify. I thank you. Mr. Speaker, I was going to answer something
We'll get there. Of the many nominee memoranda we received, you answered all of them adequately except these 2. A nominee, a Kenyan by the name Vincent Kipkurui Sang. I mentioned the name because it is part of the documentation. The nominee's farm has been implicated in shillings 5.9 billion grain facility case at Mombasa Port. That one you didn't respond to. So if you have a response so that we complete the record. And the next one is there is an organization called Haki Yetu in Mombasa. I believe you probably know it. They say they went to court, obtained a court order for you to avail some documents to them, served you with the order, and you refused to give them the documents. And this was in relation to affordable housing.
Okay.
Those two.
Mr. Speaker,
you answered everything correctly and satisfactorily. You can respond to those two to complete our record.
Mr. Speaker, I know the organization really well, Haki Yetu. I haven't checked, but I suspect that letter is signed by someone called Maimuna. Is it? Huh?
Correct.
Correct, right? Mr. Speaker, there's a tendency that...
Munira,
sorry.
Munira Ali Omar.
Munira Omar, I know, and of course my great friend Father Dolan is doing quite some good work. But number one, I've never seen or received any orders that compels me to give information. Two, I believe public information should not necessarily be accessed through court processes. Someone should be able to walk into government office and get information. Number one,
Article 35 of the Constitution.
So I have not received any orders, but my current governor would, I'm sure, I'll place a call to him. He'll be happy to share the information.
Grain bulk?
Grain bulk, Mheshimiwa, sorry, Honorable Speaker. Yes. I said earlier,
it's not grain bulk, it's grain facility. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, my family, like I said earlier, is in the business of logistics. So what my family wants to do as a business, or plans to do, is to build on our land, on our own family land, a grain handling facility. For far too long, there's just been one. So there's been a monopoly of grain handling in Kenya. So we've been pursuing this venture of building another, as a family, nothing to do with government. Mheshimiwa, so that, Honorable Speaker, so that I come out clear, there's not a penny government is putting. There is nothing government is doing in that project. It's private equity project, sitting on private land. The only thing that that setup would do is get a license on Livelive so that they can get access to remove the grain from the vessel onto the facility. So we did not lose, as a family, 5.9 billion contract. We are actually going to inject 5.9 billion investment into the economy.
Before I give you to say what you want to say as you exit, have you ever been adversely mentioned in any integrity-related report?
Not that I know of.
Do you hold any leadership position in any political party? In your self-declaration, you say you are the deputy party leader of Orange Democratic Party.
That I resigned. I remain only a member of the party. I don't hold any leadership position.
What is your net worth?
My net worth is, let me just be sure. Where is that document? Where is it?
Is on pay. Your assistant should be assisting you on this.
I'll just use this one. I found it. Okay. Mr. Speaker, my net worth is 2,361,332,249.
Made out?
Largely by developed and undeveloped properties, which include my homes in Mombasa, Vipingo, Nairobi, and Malindi. Shareholding in some property holdings. Shareholding in family businesses. Valuables, Honorable Kimani Chungwa referred to them as jewelry, but it's just basically watches, and cash at bank.
Okay. We have checked your documents against what we have, and we have found them in order. And also you did respond to more than we received 74 memoranda on you, You responded to all of them except the 2 that you have now responded to. Now you can have 1
Mr.
minute.
Speaker,
Yes.
before he concludes on the net worth, it would be good, and this is in his interest, because he has severally referred to family businesses. This net worth is Ali Hassan Joho, not the family.
This is just my shares. Families definitely.
Much more.
I wish it was my own wealth. For a moment, Mr. Speaker, I wish it was my wealth, but that is now my share.
Yes. So go ahead and say what you wanted to say so that we go to the next nominee.
Mr. Speaker, while I was preparing myself, I came with an idea of developing a 10-point plan that I think would be useful to enhance how we can quickly grow this industry, because it is a powerful industry in our economy that is untapped, and employment. So I came, number 1, complete digitization of the ministry processes.